Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about doing installs on playgrounds. Playgrounds are very tricky and can be intimidating if you don't know what you're going to do. Um, Sometimes in the preschool areas, you'll say that you have to do a fall height of just 4 feet. We just go ahead and do the 6 feet all the way around. We put in a 2 inch play pad, and that way it's just there's no question. And also the transitions stay good. Um, then, sometimes we'll even do rubber mulch. And here in a little bit, I'm going to give you some examples of projects that we just done so you can see how they turfed out and see we'll kind of go over each process and what we're looking at and what we're doing so you can get a full explanation on how we achieve to get our customers the end results that they need and want. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on this first picture here. This is a before picture of the taller area. And as you can see, it's got all this pea gravel, right? So a lot of people just throw pea gravel. And the reason they do it is because, hey, it's cheap. But over time, it gets hard because of the other substances moving in, like, the wind brings in dirt, dust, etc. You have all this sediment come in, and you don't get the fall height that you are required to have to keep your playground open. So, in this case here, this pea gravel had been in for a while, and although the pea gravel was 12 inches thick, it actually started getting hard at only 2 inches. So, what we did here is on this one, we went in with at least 6 inches of rubber mulch. And this way, and I say at least, there's some areas that are 9 and 10. And as you can see, it just makes a world of difference. And what we do is we make sure everything is going to be good under the surface, right? So there's no flooding, nothing like that. Everything's still going to run away from the playground. And we make sure it's all level around there and make sure it will pass the fall height requirement that is needed by the state and federal government guidelines. So, like I said, here is at least 6 inches. Some spots it's 9 inches. You want to really make sure it's thick from 6 foot outside the structure. That's just a good rule of thumb. We usually go about 7 just to be on the safe side. So, as an installer, it's not. I wonder if a state inspector is going to come out there and inspect it. It's when. I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, they will inspect it. So please, please do your due diligence and install this correctly. This will not only save you time and money, but will, keep your customer happy as well, so then they can open sooner. So this is the peak. This is the after. So before you had the pea gravel, and now you have a soft, clean surface that is going to be easy to maintain. The one thing you want to do on this rubber mulch is take a tine rake about once a year and fluff up the mulch, make sure it's loose. Because sediment could fall in it, just like the pea gravel. But as long as you maintain the mulch, you'll be fine. So that's a good rule of thumb on the rubber mulch. Next here is the playground area that we went ahead and turfed. Now, as you can see, there are boards along the side here that that could be a hazard. You've got some pea gravel here that let's face it, kids are going to pick up and throw the pea gravel or wear it in their shoes, one or the other. But it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. So it's nicer to have turf over these surfaces as well, because now the teacher out there watching the kids during recess doesn't have to say, "Hey, Timmy, quit throwing the rocks. Please quit throwing them." And they don't have to dump the shoes out at the end of the day to get the pea gravel out. So, and also the kids stay cleaner. So if the kids are cleaner, less allergies, and the more clean your building is going to be on the inside. So I'll show you the after picture here of this. So now, as you can see now, hey, no more pea gravel. It's clean. Right now, around everything, we did the whole entire surface on this one, and the ones that you'll see in this recording is we've put all 2-inch pad over the entire process. So we really like how this this turfed out here. So it's like I said, you're gonna have your wear areas over by the slides where the slides come out in the beginning of where the steps are. Sometimes like here we didn't put a like a golf turf, a little tighter knitted turf, so it's going to be a lot easier, or less maintenance as far as if it does start matting down over time. That's really the only thing you'll have to worry about as a school or preschool owner is the wear areas. I like to call them little wear mats we can make out of the golf green putting turf and put at like underneath each swing and at the base of each slide, etc. That's really the only thing that you're going to have to do. So so we'll go to the next playground. This playground is the taller area. So this is the one that only had to be set at 4-foot fall height. Now, did we do that? No. What we did was we made it all 6-foot fall height, and we did a tree ring around the trees. And what this does is lets all the nutrients and everything get to the trees, even though they are well established. So we went about 3 feet around the tree, and then we put the pad. And so this will make it a better surface for the kids and the trees as well. Even though they, like I said, they are established, we went ahead and did that. So as you can see, the after is once again just we feel like we knocked it out of the park. And let me show you on the before. So the before along the fence we had where there was a lot of drainage issues. So one thing we try to do is mitigate drainage issues on a playground as well. So we put a couple boxes in there so that way it would drain really well. And it goes on the other side of the fence, which was actually a drainage ditch. So that's how we did that one. So there's the finished product of the taller area. And now we're going to go to the big kid area. This is another playground. So this is the big kid area, of course. It's got the bigger play structure, etc. And then also next to the left of the red pole, underneath this pea gravel, was a concrete goalie where water would gather and shoot out. So we had to address that issue. We covered it up with the pad, and we also cut out some of the concrete and put in a drainage basin to catch the water for runoff. So that was an obstacle that we had to overcome on this install to get that in there, so it would perform well over years and years and years. This here is the after. So this here is going to be with the 2-inch fall height pad, and then the turf on top, and have the infill. I'm going to show you another picture, kind of what it looks like up close. That way you can see, where kids are walking on. So sometimes right before the steps, we might add a wear pad, and probably about 6 years we may have to go back in there and actually put a wear pad in there for them. But other than that, I mean, regular maintenance and stuff like that, it's gonna last a long time. And I want to show you the transition between the rubber and the grass. So before, there was cross ties and timbers in between the playgrounds. So what we did is we got rid of the timbers in this area and had the mulch go right up to the turf. So a lot of people will ask, like, yeah, but then the mulch is going to get onto the turf, yada yada, and it will. But the thing is you have to keep in mind we have to make it ADA accessible. And one of my things is, why just keep one little area ADA accessible? Why don't you make a larger area ADA accessible? So that's what we did here at this playground, and it turned out, or turfed out, really good. So another thing that I can say about when installing playgrounds, we get called in to fix some playgrounds that were installed incorrectly as far as the turf goes. And what happens is they put the pad in, but they don't put it in a brick pattern, and then they don't line the seams of the pad with duct tape or any kind of tape. So I like to use, and you can get it on Amazon, I use a 6-inch wide piece of duct tape, a roll, and I roll all those seams together to make it one cohesive unit, like a free floating floor as if you have. So then we put the turf on top and then the infill. This wears really well, and it also is good in a thermal expansion. And because, as it gets hot, it does want to expand, and then when cooler, contracts. So this works out really well. Like I said, you want to, the only maintenance on this would be to maybe broom it quarterly, and then I would spray it with some OxyTurf, because you don't only can spray the grass, the artificial turf with OxyTurf, but you can spray the actual play structure with OxyTurf as well. So you clean the whole thing. The whole thing gets clean. And that's why I'm a pretty big advocate for the OxyTurf. So, and you can pick that up at oxyturf.com. And then in the code, you're going to put Luxe Blades. That's going to save you 15% on your order. So I hope you like this video and you find it informational. I really think that you'll really get a lot out of your playground whenever you turf it or put rubber mulch. Like I said, on the reason it was done rubber mulch on one side is because, well, it is a little cheaper. So they want to conserve some funds on that because they didn't want to go cheap on the other. And they didn't go cheap on the playground structures either. So the playground structures, you can get those there in the video or in the slides at MVP Playgrounds. Ask for Ken or Dominic. They can get you hooked up on awesome playgrounds. So like I said, if you have any questions, concerns about playgrounds, if you're an installer yourself and hey, you run into a problem, we're here to help. We don't charge you anything. One thing here at Luxe Blades is we pride ourselves on installations and customer service and quality of installs. So if you have trouble on your installs, feel free to give me a call, 972-703-2501. We're here to help. And if you have any questions, you can also go to Nick at luxeblades.com or go to www.luxeblades.com.